What's up everyone, TJ here. Today I'm joined by Mike Basher, editor for Snowboard Magazine, lifelong snowboard enthusiast, has also tested hundreds of boards over the years. And in this video, we're gonna talk about the Salomon Super 8 Pro. We were able to test this board out at Arapahoe Basin late last season, as well as get some laps out at Mammoth. Let's get into it. All right, so before we jump into how this board felt out on the mountain, let's quickly run through the tech. So the Salomon Super 8 Pro is more of a free ride, all mountain kind of board on the Salomon lineup. And it does have a directional design philosophy. So you're gonna find a directional outline with a longer nose than tail outside the contact points, as well as some other directional features, including a slight taper. I rode this board in a 154, and at that size, you're gonna find about 8 millimeters of taper, narrowing the tail just a little bit, as well as a 15 millimeter setback. So the stance is shifted a little bit closer to the tail of the snowboard to naturally keep your weight back on those deeper days. It does run a camber dominant profile. It runs their backseat camber. So that's positive camber from the front foot out to the tail of the snowboard, giving you that more energetic, powerful, precise feel that you'd expect, leading into a flat profile in the nose of the snowboard for a little bit more predictability and easier turn initiation, as well as helping this thing float a little bit. You're gonna find some dampening technologies built into it, particularly some cork and like honeycomb materials in the tips to help dampen out vibrations and give it a bit of a smoother ride, as well as quite a bit of carbon and basalt built into the layup of this snowboard. That's actually one of the biggest standouts for me in the construction. There's 16 stringers that you can see to the top sheet of this snowboard running from tip to tail to help really amplify the energy you're gonna find in this one. And other than that, you're gonna find a sintered base, which is known to be a more durable base material that can be a little bit faster out there, but you do wanna make sure to wax it regularly to maintain that nice fast feel. And that's a quick tech breakdown. Like I said, we rode this board late season at Arapahoe Basin and Mammoth Mountain. Let's jump in with how this thing felt out on snow.
I thought overall this board was like, and I feel this way about a lot of Salomons and Roams, is that it's a stiffer medium. I wouldn't go with stiff.
I would say so too.
Know?
Yeah, like for being the, I think whenever you see the Pro brand on a model, you automatically think like, oh, this board must be super aggressive. It must be way stiffer, but that's not necessarily the case. And I think with the Super 8 Pro, that's what I found as well. It was more like a little bit on the stiffer side of medium kind of flex. Definitely had some good stability, had some good energy, but was still a pretty approachable snowboard overall. It just had that more premium construction for you.
Yeah, I think the fit and finish of this board is really gorgeous as well. From the see-through top sheet where you can see those 16 stringers, to it's got cork sidewall inlays. It has lots going for it. And one of my favorite things actually is how cool the recycled base looks with all the little flecks of recycled P-Tex in it and everything.
I think, yeah, Salomon, they're definitely trying to make some moves across the line, sustainability-wise, using recycled materials, and it's cool to see that show up in the Super 8 Pro as well.
Definitely. This thing was really easy to carve because it's definitely a bit wider where you don't have to work super hard to get it up on edge, but when you get it up there, you're definitely reaping the benefits of that extra width with heel and toe drag. So you're able to run like a regular, I run positive 15, negative 12 in the back, and I don't have to go posy.
Yeah, I think, especially considering that we rode a 154 out there, at that size, the waist width is around 25.8 centimeters. So definitely a little bit above average. That extra width is always nice to see on boards where you want to spend some time carving, allowing those more aggressive edge angles more comfortably, eliminating that heel and toe drag a little bit. Or if you do have a bit of a larger boot size, that can be helpful as well. But I think for me, a big standout with this style of board in general is the combination of that backseat camber with the taper and the width. All work together to give it a super fun feel for carving. A lot of energy exiting a carve. You can really power through those turns, and the board's going to be there for you and kind of spring you out of the turn to give it a nice, energetic, lively, fun feel for like just real dynamic carves.
Yeah, and I felt the flex was, I wouldn't go stiff. It was, especially for a pro designated board, It's a little on the stiff side of medium, so it has a character that is pretty supportive, and you can really, really mob down the mountain on it. But at the same time, it's not gonna beat you up. You don't have to work super hard to flex this board. And it's just a really smooth, electric feeling snowboard.
Exactly, man. Yeah, it has this stability where it's gonna be able to hold up to carving through some more chopped up conditions like end of day snow conditions, slushier conditions like we were in. It's gonna be able to power through that, but still has a pretty approachable feel, especially considering that this is the pro designation of the Super 8. It's just gonna be, you know, lighter weight, more energetic, a smoother ride, but not incredibly aggressive. So definitely a very versatile carving board that's gonna have your back even if you start to push it a little bit.
So the biggest standouts for me with the Super 8 Pro are a culmination of things. It's wide enough where you can really trench your way down the mountain on those groomers and everything. It's also wide enough where it's gonna float in powder, but it's not so wide where you have to really fight to get the board up on edge. So it's exciting, but still pretty mellow. The flex-wise, being a bit of a stiffer medium, is really great all around. It loves speed, and it's still really comfortable going slow, believe it or not.
I agree, man. I think that the Super 8 Pro is surprisingly versatile. It's not an overpowering snowboard. You know, gonna be an excellent carving board, but still a little bit freestyle-y. Wouldn't be a board I'd hesitate to take out on a deep day. And also want to highlight how energetic this snowboard is. That was definitely a big standout for me. So if that sounds interesting to you guys, and this is a board you might want to check out, it's going to be linked down in the description below this video, as well as a link to the latest issue of Snowboard Mag. So please make sure to go check that out. Drop a like if you got some value from this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We appreciate you guys watching today. If you have any questions, drop them down in the comments for us, and we'll see you in a new one next time. Take care, everybody.
Jesus